Hey guys, welcome along to a brand new week. Coming up, InnoSearch has some big news to share.
This is Double Tap, where blind people talk tech. Here's Stephen Scott and Shaun Preece.
And it's another week. How are you, Shaun Preece?
I am great, Stephen Scott. I can't wait for this week to get started. You know, I'm full of energy.
It's going to be great.
This is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be a great week. And do you know why? Because it ends with Halloween, etc.
No, sorry, that was absolutely terrifying, Stephen Scott. Well done.
We used to have a button. I used to have a button here that I could press and it would make me sound big and... it's not there. Hang on, I'm not going to start that. No. Absolutely not. No, because I have no idea what will happen. That's the problem. Well, no idea. We'll be talking in Chinese again or something will happen. But ahead of that, I am asking people on social media, and I'm asking you as well, dear listener, to get in touch with your tech horror stories. Horrible things that happen to you using tech while you're using it, kind of thing. So that, and also, because, look, there's so many things, right? Whether it could be voiceover just disappearing on you at the moment you need it most. Maybe it's the smart speaker that talks at you in the middle of the night. I remember a story, and it wasn't around Halloween, but I remember it being terrifying. Well, there was that period where do you remember the story of the Amazon Echo would just start laughing? Like creepy laughing in the middle of the night?
That's right. What was that? What was triggering it?
We never ever got to the bottom of what actually happened there. That was randomly would happen. And you know what? We used to have it where sometimes it would just start talking in the middle of the night because maybe an update was needed. So it would tell you, it's time to update, but just yell out loud.
I've got to say, that does terrify me.
Yeah.
When I hear something speaking in the middle of the night and you got to go and investigate.
I know.
Absolutely terrified.
It is. Of course it's terrifying. Of course it is. So, yeah, we want your tech horror stories, whatever they may be. I'd love to hear them. So email them into us. We'll give you all the contact details a little bit later. I think we'll start this on Friday as part of the Halloween show, but you know what? I think this could be a feature we run on through the next few weeks and months because I think we could add to it. And maybe we just build a list here because I thought of this idea called the accessibility crypt for Friday, right? So, as part of our horror show, sorry, that's the Friday show, not just the regular one. As part of our Friday Halloween horror show, we thought we'd open up the accessibility crypt, looking at dead tech that still possibly haunts us today. Maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way. So, what tech do you remember from growing up that you think about, that maybe you've used, that you loved? I'm thinking immediately about Greg in Pennsylvania and his ID mate, that I think he still has. But, very much dead tech.
Are you saying that's in the crypt right
I think
now,
that's in the crypt. Well, it's not sold anymore, is it? It's not available.
No, that's true.
So, could that be one for the crypt? So if you've got anything that you can think of, technology, software, an app you might remember using me back in the day.
Thinking now. Okay.
So
let us know. That could be interesting. Teletext. That's what I used to love, teletext. Digitizer was where I used to get all my tech news back in the day.
Outspoken on the Mac, gone, but not forgotten.
Oh, wow.
Because, of course, we have voiceover now.
On Windows.
Thunder, yeah. Window Eyes.
Window Eyes, yeah. That was very good.
Yeah. So there's lots of different things, you see. Suddenly we can build a list. So you guys get involved as well. Tell us what you'd like to be featured in the accessibility crypt. I have to say it like that. The accessibility crypt. That sounds...
If only you had some reverb.
I know.
The
buttons here, it doesn't... I don't
Press
know.
It's
like,
take a risk.
Hang on. Nothing. See? Nothing.
I want to press mine now.
And just a reminder that we were asked by the wonderful folk over at AI for the Blind Club to help them out technically for their big event on Friday. Did you catch it? It was on YouTube. Did you listen in, Shaun? Because I know you weren't there in person because you were busy.
I was busy listening. No, it was very good. Shaun did an amazing job, by the way. Shaun Keane.
Yeah. My new favourite Shaun.
Yeah. Well, that's because he was better, basically, than me. He was fantastic. Well done, Shaun.
Well, so we've got a replacement now, so we're all good.
All right, everyone's happy then. I'll just sit in the corner.
No, honestly, Shaun did an amazing job. He hosted the event. The whole thing was that the event was going to happen, I think, a month earlier, and then they had some technical issues they ran into, and they came to us for a little bit of technical help, which might surprise some of you. But they did. And I think we had a great event, actually. Double Tap and AI for the Blind Club got together And what we did really was put on an event which brought Be My Eyes and InnoSearch live to you guys so that you could answer or get your questions answered live. And of course, the wonderful Mike Buckley was there. Patrick Long was there from InnoSearch. And we got some big news, big breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yes, we did. And we're going to kick off with one of the stories, because there was two stories that came out from InnoSearch in particular. And the big one, which I think will interest a lot of people. And, you know, one thing we talk about in this show a lot is the lack of opportunities often we have as self-employed people or to create our own businesses. And there's a lot of you out there who I know are very keen to do this. And this is where I think InnoSearch can actually come to the fore. I've got to say, Shaun, I really love what these guys are doing, because they are not just creating accessible shopping experiences for you and I to be able to go and buy whatever we want on Amazon or whatever other store, because it's not just Amazon anymore. There's loads of stores on there. I think in the US, they've got over 500 stores now, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But they're supporting local business through this, but they're also supporting blind entrepreneurs. And that is exactly what this is all about. So let's hear from Patrick. Now, this was Patrick Long from InnoSearch talking about these new InnoSearch stores and what that will mean for blind users, but also blind entrepreneurs as well. He was talking, of course, at the AI for the Blind Club live event that took place on Friday.
So opening a store on InnoSearch is very easy. You simply can send an inquiry to our team and let them know you would like to have a storefront. The setup process is very simple. You can give us your either inventory list of items, or if you have an existing store, we can also port all the information automatically directly from the existing store that you have. And once you have your storefront on InnoSearch, we will host the domain for you. There's a notification system that lets you know every time an item is being sold, so you can ship it to the appropriate person. And also we manage the payments as well. So anytime you make a sale, we can also, dispatch your payout appropriately to whatever way you prefer. So it's very simple and accessible. It's done by design this way, so people who have blindness or low vision don't have to struggle with complicated website setup, right? I know there's a lot of products out there like WooCommerce or, Stripe or even Shopify. Those can be very challenging at times to navigate and use and set up. And so we make it very easy for you. You can just simply provide us all the product information, what you'd like, the branding, and our team will, pull something together for you. So it's very easy and very simple. And we've already started to work with quite a few clients that enjoyed the process, and their stores are live and accepting orders.
So essentially, everything but shipping, the customer still has to, or the store owner still has to ship the item?
That's right. So we don't manage the fulfillment, but we will let you know whenever an item is sold. And so you still would need to take care of the shipping. That's correct. We don't have a warehouse or something that will warehouse it.
Oh, that's fantastic. That really is. That makes a world of difference. And I've tried Shopify about 3 different times, hoping each time it would be easier. And they claim it's super easy to do, but not if you're blind. It's not easy at all. So not easy that I could never get it to work. But this InnoSearch is great. This is really useful, really helpful.
Yeah, and the mission of this really is to give that independence, right? Sense of entrepreneurial excitement for those who are blind and low vision, right? It can be a way for them to maybe create some pottery, right? Or there's some services that they like to offer, and it's like a way for them to advertise and, make a name for themselves. So it's something that we've seen very much resonate well with blind entrepreneurs, folks that, really struggle with the traditional marketplaces, right? And they just need a simple and easy solution, right? That really caters directly to them. And that's what InnoSearch accessible storefronts are.
I mean, it's just wonderful, isn't it, to see how this company are really doing that. They're really promoting blind entrepreneurialism, which I think is wonderful. I think that's great. Just a simple thing. I mean, it's not simple, of course. There's a huge amount of work goes into the background of this. But, for us, it is simpler than all those things that he was talking about there. Like Patrick was talking about all these other Stripe and WooCommerce and all these other ones that are out there, which, sound great. I mean, I've read so many articles. I've watched so many YouTube videos about Shopify.
Yeah.
And I think I'd love to maybe get into some of that, but I wouldn't even know where to start. And I often worry, as we all do, okay, how accessible is that experience going to be?
Yeah, and you worry even more because you're dealing with, the public, right? Your customers potentially, and you don't want to mess things up. You don't want delays because you can't. You're wrestling with an inaccessible, back end of your shopping system. So yeah, absolutely right. It's just another obstacle sort of taken out of your way. Because how often have we talked about the opportunities and the capabilities of blind people out there, and there's so many people that may be able to take advantage of this. And they did talk as well. This is just the start, right? At some point in the future, you'll be able to set this up on your own. Right now, you need to get in contact with InnoSearch, and they'll set it up for you. But if you can set this up as almost a dashboard, like a WordPress thing, if they enable that in the future, so you can set it up all on your own, independently, set up your business, and they take control and take responsibility for letting you know when the sale's been made and all that information. Sounds fantastic to me. I hope lots of people are going to take advantage of this.
Yeah. Well, of course, it's not just the stores that was announced. In fact, the big story which came out, which I kind of, if I'm honest, feel like Patrick might have said this and then kind of wished he hadn't, which is not uncommon when people are around us. And that is the news that InnoSearch are launching a new app for iOS and Android. This is, I think, really important because for a long time we've been using the website, and that's fine. But having a dedicated app, I think, just makes the whole thing a little bit easier. Now, I will say at this early stage, it's very much in, I would still say, a little bit of beta. I mean, they might not say that, but I think it's still in beta, going by what I've experienced. There's still a few things that can be done. I think they're very keen, as they often are, to get our feedback. So if you have tried out the app, it is accessible, of course, but I think there's a few usability things that could definitely be improved there. What's your thoughts on the app?
Do you know what? It's so strange because I was, for the longest time, thinking that it was an app already. InnoSearch had an app, but it's not. It's because I had saved the website onto my home screen of my iPhone. So it appears just, an icon on my home screen. It just basically opens Safari up and takes you directly there. I will say, I agree with you. I think it's a web wrapper at the minute. So this is a website, in the costume of an app. So I think there can be more work done to it, and I'm sure there will be. But yeah, again, it just shows the commitment, right? They're available for Android, available for iPhone. So yeah, very cool.
Well, let's hear Patrick talking about it at the AI for the Blind Club event. He told us the news on Friday.
Yeah, we recently went live on the Apple App Store and also the Google Play. So after a few months of going back and forth with them and making the fixes that they wanted, the app is now approved and live on both stores. So if you're on Apple phone or an Android, you can now access InnoSearch's services through our own native app. So yeah, download it, give it a try. We're still doing some accessibility testing to make sure it works well with VoiceOver and all the various technologies. But yeah, I'm happy to announce this long-awaited feature is now live.
That app you mentioned, I mean, that will make so many people happy, and that alone, I'm still focused on that. I mean, that's great. You mentioned a lot of things that are coming in, and that's great. But that app is just, there's some things I like to do on the web. There's some things I want to do on the computer, but there's sometimes I just want to use an app to do it. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, what we realized is there's just, options is really important, right? So people just want to have different ways of accessing, important services like shopping or whatever, right? And so we're here to provide more and more options for the end user. And yeah, an app has been long requested.
Yeah, it has been requested. I'm one of the people who've requested it many times.
Okay, I have a question. Why?
I know it sounds silly because you think, well, hang on, the website is accessible, and it is. It's fully accessible. So why would I want an app? But I think there's a different experience on an app. I just feel there's a slightly different experience. The way the current iteration of the app is running, it's very much like you're just using the website, which I understand because that's essentially what it is, right? But I just have a slightly different feeling. I mean, I'll give you an example. When you search for an item, whatever that item might be, I would expect to be able to navigate through each individual item as one container block. So it would tell me, for example, in this container, what the item is, what its price is, availability, whatever. It would give me information in one kind of container. And then I could move and just swipe right and then to the next item and then to the next item. The way it works on the website, of course, is you have a heading, then you have text, then you might have a link or buttons or whatever it might be after that. And I just feel that the app could be a little bit more solidified to help me more quickly and more efficiently navigate through those search results. Now, I might be alone in that. That might be just me.
No, I agree. Because I was asking, why is this not an app? I just assumed it was for a long time, but I was asking the same thing. But then it's just the other day I was thinking, why do I want it to be an app? But I think you're right. There is something that seems like you have more options, like the navigation should be easier on an app than through your browser. And it usually is.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to wait and see. But they've started the process. They've got this in the app stores, which is your first step.
You can go try it. Go get it right now. Just go search. Now, I will say go search for InnoSearch AI. So InnoSearch, INNOSEARCH space AI. Because I noticed when you first search for it, if you search for it as InnoSearch, it doesn't always pop up. So again, it's just because it's new. Well, it's probably because it's new in the library. It's taking time to surface up. But yeah, InnoSearch AI is the way to find it. Certainly on the iPhone. Haven't tried it on the Google phone yet, but I will be. I will be trying it on there very soon, and we'll talk more about it as it comes along. But I'm really, really pleased at what these guys are doing. It's amazing.
Very cool.
Let's talk about Facebook. Do you hear this story? So Facebook are ditching messenger apps for Mac and Windows. Did you hear this?
No, I did not. I'm surprised by this. Go on. What's the deets, Stephen Scott?
Well, what Meta are saying is they're going to pull support for the desktop messenger apps on Windows and Mac. Both apps have already been removed from the Microsoft Store and Mac App Store, and existing users will get notifications that the desktop apps will disappear fully in December. They're saying that they're moving towards mobile first and moving away from areas where ultimately, let's be honest about it, less people using it. So less people using it on the desktop, more people using it on the web, and as a result, the majority of people using Messenger apps, at least, are on iOS and Android. So they clearly just don't see a reason to continue developing for it. So that's it.
So that's it. Just pull the plug. Okay. I think messaging apps are very important on desktop, to be honest. I mean, I love WhatsApp on the desktop. Not so keen on the beta, obviously, but I love WhatsApp. It's just so handy, to send each other links. It's universal. You're not locked into an ecosystem. It's very good. But they're still keeping there's a web version of Messenger. I don't use Messenger, right. So I don't know. So there's a web version of Messenger.
You'll be sent over to messenger.com, essentially, will be the web address, I believe, for that.
Well, that's okay then. So you can still access it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, it's kind of going back to that thing of WhatsApp, right? Because... And I can probably foresee a time where they'll rebuild it as an app, but it will be a web app again. So they'll probably come back in the same way they've done with WhatsApp. I think obviously with WhatsApp, it is the kind of app that you do want access to on your desktop. They clearly see the value in it, hence why they're continuing to develop it, although it may be slightly different.
Well, again, isn't that becoming just a web wrapper?
It is, yeah. Ultimately, it is. It's just a web wrapper. But again, it's how these things are developed and how they work in accessibility to that. I don't know enough to know about the structures and how it needs to be done, but people smarter than me can tell us. But there are ways that But there are ways that this needs to be done to make it accessible, right? Ultimately, and that I don't know if that's been done necessarily on this first edition. Although having tested it, I can't say it's awful because I don't think it is.
Hang on, what are we talking about? Messenger or WhatsApp?
I'm talking about WhatsApp. I've never really used Messenger.
No,
on
me
Mac
either.
Or Windows, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I did notice you can now do control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to jump directly to the type of message to every conversation in your list.
Right.
So, for example, if I press control 1, it will jump directly to the edit field of type to Stephen Scott.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, that's
usually
good.
you. So there are some, there's some, it's still laborious compared to, the WhatsApp native app that we've been using, but it's showing signs that it is improving.
Well, if it can be, here's the thing, right? If the guys who write the scripts, I'm thinking of Brian Hartgen here and those like him, if those people can create a script for, NVDA or JAWS, Brian obviously will be writing for JAWS, but if someone writes a new add-on for NVDA so we can quickly navigate and it becomes more efficient, then I'm happy with that. I think that's great.
That's true, actually. The WhatsApp I'm using right now, the native WhatsApp, is that good because of the NVDA add-on I'm using, the work of a third party. So it's exactly the same. I just hope they have as much control and access over the website version as they do over the native one. I'm sure someone, as you said, much smarter than us will figure it out.
I mean, the native app on Mac for WhatsApp, for me, needs a lot of additional elements added to it in order to make it functional. So one thing I'll do, for example, is I use activities in VoiceOver, which allows you to customize specific VoiceOver commands. Maybe it might be speech. It could be whatever. Like, for example, what was the app I was in recently that I wanted this? Oh, yeah, I was in not VMware. I was in, what's the other one? Parallels. For Windows, right? So I want to be able to use Windows on the Mac. But the problem is when you're in Parallels, VoiceOver will report. So if, for example, you open up Outlook on the Windows side, VoiceOver will tell you, Microsoft Outlook is opening. And you're like, yeah, that's not really helpful. I don't need that. So you can actually go into activities under VoiceOver settings, and you can say in that particular application, when Windows is open, that you want no speech at all. You can mute VoiceOver speech entirely.
That's cool.
Which is fine until you need to get into the settings of Parallel, and then you've got a problem. But of course, you can just go in and turn these things on and off, right? So it's not that difficult to do. But it shows you the kind of ways you can use it. You can set up, custom hotspots, for example, per application, and you can define it to an application. You can even define contexts as well. So if you were wanting to have your emails read a certain way, or long paragraphs of text or whatever on a website, you can really customize it down to say, I want this voice, this speed. If you want the rest of your system speed to be like 80, 90%, but you just want your reading speed to be much lower or slower than that, you can do that. So yeah, that can be really useful. So it's a good workaround for a lot of the inaccessible apps that we face. That and VOCR, which I've got to give a huge shout out to, because that's the only way you'll ever be able to use Parallels, to be perfectly honest.
They've done an amazing job on that.
Yeah, that's the
VOCR team.
Ability to read the screen and essentially navigate around the screen, even though you may have a completely inaccessible window in front of you. That is just fantastic.
So why are we not using Messenger, Stephen Scott?
I don't know what it is. I never really get into it. I never found that particularly wonderful. There was a lot of accessibility bugs in the Facebook Messenger app. I don't also use Facebook that much, and even less because I found it difficult to use. I think it's improved, but I just never went back to it. I use WhatsApp. So, it's not like I'm... I feel like
stick to one.
I feel like they could bring them all together into one, right? I mean, WhatsApp is kind of the chat app, right? So why not just bring Messenger into that rather than having a separate application?
Yeah, Meta won't open up like that. I was looking into, there used to be back in the day Trillion, and I believe it's still going now, and it will give you access to, in one app, give you access to multiple chat services. But of course, everyone wants to lock down and make it, no.
Yeah, you've got to come to ours.
Through us. Yeah. So it's a shame. ICQ, that's the future. I remember ICQ. AOL Messenger. MSN Messenger. Stop it now.
I know.
Yahoo.
God, I honestly, I know. It was wonderful, though. It was so good. Anyway, there you go. So what else have we got? We've got a Bluetooth bug affecting TalkBack users in Samsung One UI 8.0. Catchy. So this is a bug that's been found by the Accessible Android team. They're reporting this when using Bluetooth audio devices during calls. The team were able to confirm the presence on several devices running One UI 8. Now, the bug causes the screen reader to go silent during calls after the in-call volume reaches a certain level when using a Bluetooth device such as a speaker or earbud. Is this bad news? getting Android to be quiet sometimes is actually a delight. So I don't know if this is a bug necessarily.
Yes, you want control of when it is silent and when it talks, though. It just, making its own mind up isn't cool. Yeah, I got to say, though, Android, accessible Android, amazing job those guys do over there as well. So, yes, thank you for finding this. And I think they do mention if there's a workaround or not. I haven't looked into that, but there may be a workaround to get around this.
There absolutely is. They say that the simplest way, weirdly, is to just lower the in-call volume to a level where, frankly, speech will be restored. They found that 60% works without speech loss, which should still be loud enough for most people. Speech will return automatically once the volume is lowered, but then will disappear again if you raise it back up. So if someone is quiet on the phone, you probably better tell them to speak up. But they say Samsung's aware of the issue, and it's likely that a fix will arrive with the One UI 8.5 update, whenever that comes along.
That is such a strange bug, isn't it? At a certain volume level, you get no speech. That is so strange. But again, well done. Accessible Android.
Yeah, picking up on that. Wonderful. BlindShell Classic. Let's talk about BlindShell Classic. You're getting an update for version 1. It's an urgent update today. Very urgent update, in fact. So from today, a number of online features for users of the BlindShell Classic 1 will stop working. Users will need to update the phone in order to continue using these features. BlindShell have said in a statement, due to technical and security requirements, older versions of BlindShell Classic 1 software will soon no longer be able to connect to our servers. To ensure continuous functionality, users must update their phones to the latest software version, which is, ready for this, 4.14.3. There's a test at the end. Yeah. Basically, if you've got an old phone, especially BlindShell Classic phone, this particular version 1 model, it is time to check those updates. If you don't, a lot of the features will stop working. Features that will break include, and there's a list here, the weather forecast, internet radio, YouTube, image sharing, document reading, email login, calendar, and the network test. So nothing really. So in other words, it'll just die.
Most of the features you use will stop working as of today. So yeah, but it's an easy enough fix. Check your updates and it will update and you'll be fine again.
Yeah, absolutely. Updating will solve the issue, but from March next year, it will no longer be possible to update the phone if you don't have the latest version installed. So if you are sitting there thinking, will I do this? You should do it today because otherwise you'll end up losing out entirely. Now, this does not impact on Classic 2 or Classic 3 customers, but of course, their advice is always make sure to keep those devices up to date as well. So there you go. BlindShell Classic 1, get updating.
Yeah, if you turn it on today and find, nothing's working, that's the reason. Update. You'll be fine.
And speaking of updates, let's mention Orbit, because Orbit are getting some cool updates as well. Orbit Player 1.7 update is now available, which is kind of cool. What have we got? We've got...
What does it give me? What does it give me?
Quite a lot, actually. There's a ton of features here. Braille reader application, which allows the Orbit Player to read BRF and BRL files produced by various libraries, as well as from any user-chosen source. Also, although it's separate from the book reader itself, that's important to note because the book reader is used to read books in advanced digital formats as well as access libraries. There's simplified volume control. This is based on user feedback. They've significantly improved volume control across all applications in the Orbit Player. Support for news content providers in the book reader as well, in particular NFB Newsline, as well as Bookshare periodicals. There's improvements to the voice recorder as well. The voice recorder application includes a new checkbox to play sounds for actions, which lets users disable beeping sounds while starting, stopping, or pausing a recording.
That's cool.
You can also select a preferred recording source from the voice recorder settings, including unprocessed audio, which produces much clearer recording quality without any audio effects or noise cancellation. They do see this option as experimental, and it will, of course, be something they will update as they go along. Also, a new way to check the date, time, and battery level. To check the current battery level, long press on the volume down key. To check the current date and time, long press on the volume up key. So,
easy.
Lots of cool new features in there. It's pretty cool,
Have you
right?
got the Orbit Player?
So they've sent me the Orbit Player. I've just received it. And if you've been checking out our newsletter recently, clearly you haven't, then you will know, unlike Shaun, that we're looking for your questions. So if you want to know anything about the Orbit Player, if you want me to test anything, and of course we've now got all these new features to test as well, then do let us know. We'll put together a review based on your questions. That's how we do it here at Double Tap now. So if you have questions, instead of me coming on here and telling you what you already know about the device, I will, of course, summarize it for you. But if you want to know specific things or want us to test specific things about the Orbit Player, then please do get in touch. feedback@doubletaponair.com. Here are all the details you need to get in touch.
Get in touch with Double Tap. Email feedback@doubletaponair.com. Leave us a voicemail at 1-877-803-4567. And now you can send an audio or video message to us on WhatsApp. That number is 1-613-481-0144.
Okay, shall we get into some emails, Shaun Preece?
Please, I can't wait. Do
Good,
it.
let's do it.
Email. We get email.
We get your email every day.
Ding dong.
Here's your mail today.
Ew.
Oh, you did. You see, you did it all. You did the ding dong. You did the
yeah.
oosh. Oh, we're back.
Well, what can I say? I'm a kid at heart.
You are. You're a big child. Listen, Nicole's got back in touch. You might remember Nicole was having some issues getting those Audible codes in. Remember that? Well, she's back with
30
an
seconds
update.
to comply.
30 seconds to comply. Or is it?
Good morning, Stephen and Shaun.
Morning.
It's Nicole calling. Recently, you played my message about the verification code and having 30 seconds to get in. This was about Audible. And you asked me to let you know how I got on. And so I'm calling to let you know I called Apple Accessibility about that. And they told me that, yes, indeed, it's the code, like it's the amount of time that is elapsing before another code could be given. So that's what it was. It was throwing me off, though, because it was starting at 30 and counting down, 29, 28, and it was so it was quite distracting. But when the Apple Accessibility person and I worked through it, that's what it was, and it was resolved. So, Stephen, you were right, and yeah, so I just wanted to let you know about that. Okay, thanks for everything, you two. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nicole. I was right.
Well done, Stephen Scott. Yes. So that was the problem of logging into Audible, and it's saying you need to enter this security or verification code within 30 seconds.
Or else. But no, it's just saying you can't ask for a new code until that time, basically, until that time elapses. Yeah, I'm glad you got that sorted. That's good. I think a lot of websites are doing that now, actually, because it wasn't Audible that did that for me, but there was a website where I had that issue. So yeah, I'm glad it's fixed. I'm glad it's resolved.
Don't panic. It's just, it puts the pressure on. As soon as a timer comes up, it doesn't matter. You sort of don't even listen to what it's saying. You're just listening to it count down. You think, oh, I'm not going to have time to do this.
And to be fair to Nicole, there are websites that do that. They will say you've got so much time before you actually, have to get a new code. And it could be 5 minutes or something, but even that, it just puts the pressure on, doesn't it? If you're trying to quickly navigate around to get this code or whatever.
Absolutely.
I think we got an email. I don't think we have it here, but we did get an email in about this from someone saying, you know what, the best thing to have is have a voice recorder on standby, which I think you said at the time. And it's so true. It is, I have a little, I have my watch, obviously, which I'm happy to use. I have my action button on the Ultra set as a voice recorder. Basically, it opens up voice memos and starts recording, which is great. But you know what? There is something about having just a little dictaphone by your side all the time. You can just literally grab it and just get information in there. Especially if you're trying to take down a number or, you want to even have access to a credit card number, that kind of thing. It's just really useful to have. I say bring back the dictaphones.
Yeah, well done. Talking of dead tech, is the dictaphone dead? I don't know, actually.
Well, accessible ones are.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Goodbye, Olympus.
Well, Microspeak's still around. They're still selling the Microspeak. Remember that?
They came back from the dead, didn't they?
That's right. It came back. It was horror. Ooh, zombie dictaphone. Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
That's enough of that. Move on.
Right. Apparently I was whinging and whining and moaning.
Stephen was complaining today about the volume on his Apple Watch 11. Well, if you only rely on the Apple Watch app on your iPhone to set the volume, yes, the maximum set there is very low. But if you set that to the maximum, and then on your watch, with VoiceOver on, you double tap and hold towards the bottom of the screen and slide 2 fingers upwards, it magically increases the volume so you can hear it outside amongst the traffic.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's kind of ironic in a way how quiet you were talking about a subject about loudness.
I couldn't hear you.
I could barely hear what you were saying. I was putting 2 fingers on my ears trying to turn up the volume, double tap and push up. No, look, I have tried all that. I just didn't find it, if I'm honest, particularly loud, especially in outdoor environments. And I know there's an option, I can't remember the name of the option in the settings, but there's something that allows you to, it almost kind of identifies the audio around you. It works out the audio environment, and it can kind of increase the volume for you.
Noise level alerts.
No, it's not that. No, it's a voiceover setting where you can have the volume increase depending on So if it a bit like what the Meta Ray Bans do, right? So the Meta Ray Bans can automatically say, okay, it's quite noisy here, so I'll turn the volume up, and even
100% all the time. That's all you need.
Do you know what?
100%.
Being on a bus the other day, it was brilliant because I was listening to I was listening to a podcast actually on the bus, not an audiobook. Are you kidding me? I was listening to a podcast. No one would believe me if I said that. So I was listening to a podcast, and as the bus was taking off, as it was going through, quite loud on the bus, and the volume was quite loud. As soon as the bus stopped and the doors opened, it gets very quiet, and the volume would just come down to a nice level. I thought that is really nice, really, really nice. So it makes it more pleasant for the passengers around you. But yeah, you can do that with the Apple Watch. The only problem is, I found it to be so loud all the time. It was the opposite problem. It was yelling at me, and the problem is you're in a quiet environment. I'll just quickly get the time. It's 4:41.
You're never happy.
No,
You're never happy. Well, everyone wants to know what the time is. Then no one will ask you.
I bought the Apple Watch Ultra 3. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Can I just say?
No, you can't.
I didn't know there was an option to adjust the volume in the Watch app on the phone.
No, I didn't know that.
There?
No, I didn't know that. Are we talking just general volume, or are we talking voiceover volume? Because you can do all that.
Can you? Oh yeah, voiceover volume. Well, can you?
Yeah.
On the Watch app.
Is this going to be one of these conversations where you're just going to keep saying "can you" a lot?
Well, I you know what? I'm racking my brains. I must admit, I don't go into the Watch app on the iPhone very often. But yeah, I just don't remember seeing the volume control there. So I'm going to check that out. But, I know, obviously you can adjust the volume both up and down, not just up as well. That 2-finger double tap onto your watch screen and moving up or down to adjust it. Because I had to do that the other day. When I go into my gym, Stephen Scott.
Oh, here we go.
To do my workouts. When I go into my gym, I lose connection. This bothers me as well. I lose connection, and Siri will not understand me and cannot, I need to connect to the internet. So I was listening to music and I couldn't adjust the volume on my headphones.
So I'm sitting back, relaxing here. Yeah, carry on.
Right. So I had to do that to adjust the media playback. And I thought that gesture was only for voiceover. But apparently not. It also works for media playback. Thank you. That's my story. You can have it.
I refer to my previous answer. Right, let's move on.
No, wait.
What?
Why does the Apple Watch, right? Why is it when it's connected to your iPhone, which does have either a mobile data connection or a Wi-Fi connection, your watch doesn't have a Wi-Fi connection for some reason in the gym? Why is it that you can't use Siri? Thank you. Feedback at doubletaponair.com. What is going on there? Is that just my Apple Watch?
Yes.
Right, thank you. Next.
I have no idea. You're asking me? I don't know. That would assume I've been somewhere near a gym in the past 10 years.
It's not just. It's just because my gym is my garage, and I don't get a good connection there. But I assumed as long as your watch was connected to your phone, and your phone had connection either through your data, mobile data, then you should have internet surely on your watch. But apparently not.
Without going into too much inside baseball here, your gym/garage sits between your shed and your house.
It does, yes.
Both of which have internet access.
Yes, and both of which, for some reason, don't reach to the middle of the garage.
Yeah,
if I'm at the end of the garage, it's fine because I get the studio
You're
Wi-Fi.
up against the shed, yeah.
at this end, or if I'm at the house end, I get the house. Well, actually, it's
How
by a
big is
window.
this garage?
No, it's not a big garage. It's just when I'm in the middle of it, for some reason, it's a total dead spot. I am going to try swapping out a Amazon Echo in there for one of the new ones, which will extend the range of my Eros. So I'm going to try that because I've got a pop in there at the minute.
Hang on, I need to do it. Greek god of Wi-Fi. Thank you.
Well done. Did I say it wrong this time? Eros. No, I said Eros. I got it
You
right.
said Eros. You actually got it right. Well done, Shaun Preece.
Thank you.
Getting it
Thank
right
you.
once a year.
Ergonomics.
Speaking of which,
Greetings, Stephen and Shaun. This
No.
is Stan Warren Luttrell. I do have a little bit of comments on today's program, and of course, you were talking about the wonderful possibility of new headphones. But here's the interesting thing. Shaun had this comment where he was wondering how to say ergonomics. Anyone to say it all sorts of different weird ways. But think of it this way. You divide it into little sections.
okay.
E-R, go, G-O, nomics.
Nomics.
N-O-M-I-C-S. It is not nobigs. It's like economics. Ergonomics. Ergonomics.
Okay. All right.
There. I hope that helps Shaun out because he could use all the help he can get. Just kidding. Happy double tapping, people. Have a great day. Bye.
You're absolutely right there, Stan. Wow.
Thank you, Stan. I've now got that. You know what? I'm never going to mispronounce that word ever again.
Right, come on. This is your final time to get it right.
Go. Nomics. Ergonomics.
I still
Thank
can't
you, Stan.
say it. You're utterly
Thank you,
hopeless.
Stan. Ergonomics. Ergonomics. Thank you, Stan. Ergonomics.
Amanda's next.
Hey, Stephen. Hey, Shaun. It's Amanda from Canberra, Australia.
Hey.
Couple of things. Stephen, did you buy a Beats rugged case or did I dream that? And I'm just wondering how you're finding it. I noticed in one of the episodes that you said you were using your phone without its case. I've definitely settled on the iPhone 17 and I'm wondering what case to get for it, which will give it some good protection but also good functionality. Also, you guys have talked a bit about your automated homes and I'm needing to update mine because my automation bridge broke when we had a brownout, which is not quite a blackout, but ages ago. And so I pretty much need to update all my home stuff. So I'm just wondering what you guys use, particularly that the routers that you were saying were so accessible. So keep up the good work and look forward to your answers.
Oh, so many questions here. Not a blackout, a burnout. I have to be honest. I probably prefer a blackout to a burnout.
No, that's not what she said, Stephen Scott.
What did she say? I heard blackout or burnout.
Brownout.
Brownout? That's even worse. What is that?
I know. Yeah, I didn't even want to say it again, but you made me. So, yes, okay. So you had a brownout and lost some of your equipment. Firstly,
it was a brownout.
I don't know. I don't want to know. I want to know. I believe it's a split-second blackout, so you don't lose power for a long period of time. All right, there you go.
Is that like the... I feel the need now to tell the joke about the airplane pilot who's flying at 35,000 feet, and he tells his passengers, he says, oh, here we are, we're flying along at 35,000 feet, and we're looking out today. It's a beautiful cloud. Oh, my God! And everything goes quiet.
Yes.
And then a couple of minutes later, he comes back on, he says, oh, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just a slight issue there. The stewardess came in and she gave me a cup of coffee and I've spilled it all over myself. You should see the front of my trousers. And you hear the guy from the back shouting, you should see the back of mine.
Awful. Anyway, do you have...
I love that joke.
No sound effect. I'm so sorry.
That is what I call a brownout.
I am such... Just don't stop it now.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Do you have the Beats, I'm moving on, Beats rugged case or whatever it was?
So yeah, I got that for the iPhone Air, yeah. It is nice, it is nice. I mean, it gives you the protection.
It's called Beats?
Yeah, so Beats do their own cases now. This is, I think this is fairly recent because they do the cables now. Remember they brought out the cables? They had all the kind of. Yeah, you do. We talked about it, I think.
No.
I mean, it was pretty.
No memory of it.
I hate to say it was pretty. Yeah, it was a bit. But, they brought out cables, they brought out cases for the iPhones, so you can get a Beats branded case for your iPhone now.
Okay. Is it any good?
Yeah, it's okay. I'll be honest, the ones I go for, honestly, Amanda, I tend to go for, and again, this might be dependent on where you are in the world. If you're in Australia, I don't know if this will be how it'll be branded.
Spidgin.
No, well, I do go for Spidgin quite a lot, but the one I chose was Ilago, which is, I think, a made-up name by Amazon, one of those companies that just turns up. But, I've bought a couple of their cases now. Really nice. It's a silicon grip case. It covers the entire phone. It doesn't add too much weight. ELAGO, that's what I look up, and you can get them for various phones, but it's a silicon wrap case for the phone. It also doesn't have those cutouts for the buttons, which I really don't like.
Yeah.
You know how they sometimes have those horrible cutouts for the camera button? I don't like that.
It doesn't make it feel very nice, does it?
No, it just feels cheap. It just feels like you just literally just added something on, and it's all kind of just been... It's like, oh, we've got a button, we better cut out a hole for it, that kind of thing. So this one doesn't have that. It completely wraps around the side of the phone, wrapped around the edge, and also it covers off and really supports that camera bump at the back, which is, sticks out a little bit because the phone itself is very thin. But but I have been using my phone naked, and it's been
that's enough.
It's been fine.
Right. Okay. There's that part answered. Okay. Recommendations for the smart home. So. For any smart home, the first thing you need is a great Wi-Fi system.
Philips Hue.
You need it.
Yep.
Pardon?
Philips Hue. Philips Hue.
What about Philips? No, don't even go there. First, we're just going to talk about the Eero from Amazon, the Eero router system. It's fantastic. It's accessible. It's a mesh system. It is quite pricey. I would recommend the 6E or the 7. The 7 is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But it's great.
They all are, to be fair, when you start buying the packs of them.
But you know what? I've been using the ISP provided ones, and you're always going to have issues with them unless you're living in a small area, as in a small flat or something. They're fine for that.
If your town only has 7,000 people, you should use this particular router. Is that your idea?
Whatever.
Over 4,000 people, and you'll start to find it'll be degrading.
Get the Amazon Eero mesh Wi-Fi system. You won't regret it. It's absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend it.
I cannot agree more with you, and this is very unusual for us, I know. But no, I cannot agree more. It is a wonderful system. Never had an issue with it at all. And they're getting better and better all the time. You get regular updates. There's a cool little thing coming out, which I don't think it's out yet, but they announced it, I think, at IFA this year, where you can plug in this tiny little dongle to it, and you can add 5G or 4G support. And it means if your internet goes down, it will just automatically kick over and use the cellular network. That's amazing. So,
it is.
They're always coming up with something new for it. It's made by Amazon, and it's strangely, I would say, one of Amazon's most accessible products.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely fantastic. And as for other things, such as your, I don't know, whatever other smart plugs or light bulbs or whatever, I would say the other thing to look out... No, don't get Philips Hue. Well, it's up to you. You can do. It's quite expensive. I would say just make sure everything is Matter compatible at the minute. That means you can control it from your iPhone, your Apple Watch, or anything. It doesn't lock it down to one ecosystem. If it's Matter compatible, it means it should work with whatever you've got on you. So that's the only thing I would look out for. As to what to get, it's entirely up to you.
Well, look, the reason I say Philips Hue a lot is because, first off, it's an accessible system. You can buy cheaper bulbs now because they're coming up with their own range. I think it's called Essentials, I think they called it. Again, that was announced at IFA this year as well. So, it used to be the case you'd be paying like £50 a bulb. So, that could be, I think in Australian dollars, that's exactly 1 million Australian dollars. That's absolutely right.
Correct.
Yeah. And you could, spend $1 million a bulb, but now you can spend half that. You'll spend $20 a bulb, or £20 a bulb, which is 500,000 Australian dollars to be exact. You can go buy cheaper bulbs and you can buy more of them and it'll be great. It's like 2 for 1. That's what I think of it as.
Oh, well done. It's an absolute bargain in Stephen Scotland.
2 bulbs for 1. And actually those bulbs come with the ability now to have motion sensor capability built in. That's something else you don't have to buy on top. You used to have to buy separate motion sensors, but that will be in the bulbs as well. there's lots of caveats to all this stuff, but ultimately I think when it comes to it, depending on what you're looking for, look, you can always buy cheap. And what I will say...
Yes, you can.
Hello. Yeah, Shaun Preece, my good friend, will tell us more in a moment. But when it comes to buying cheap bulbs, the one thing I will say is if someone in your house has low vision, don't go for the cheaper option. Because some of these low-cost bulbs are not great for people with low vision. And certainly in my own experience, I mean, I find all lights, any flicker at all, just drives my eyes insane. They just cannot handle it at all. And certainly some of the cheaper bulbs, and I've been to friends' houses and they said, I've just kitted out the house with all these new LED bulbs, got them really cheap off Amazon. And then you realize that, you're sitting there and it's very hard to describe because no one else can see it.
In a nightclub.
But exactly, that's what it's like. It's like a strobe. And they don't see it. It's like, I always remember plasma TV. First time I ever saw plasma television, I thought, I don't know how anyone can buy this. The TV picture is awful on it.
Flickering.
And it was the flickering. That was it. But they couldn't see that because the people who can see normally, how dare you?
It's like Sixth Sense, isn't it?
It is.
I see flicker.
I see flicker. Yeah. All over the place. So yeah, don't cheap out on it if you can. But again, the benefit of having the slightly more affordable range is that you can get into the Philips ecosystem a little bit more. And again, it's all hubbed into one system. You can control it all with one app. You can, of course, use HomeKit with it, so Apple devices. You can use Amazon devices, Google devices with all of it. It's not the only game in town, of course, but the thing I've found is going, like, a good example is we got some strip lights for the kitchen kick plates at the bottom of the kitchen, so you could light up the kitchen at night and make it quite nice. And the problem was that we bought them and they were just cheap, strip lights. They didn't cost a lot, maybe $15, whatever they cost. They weren't very expensive.
What's wrong with that?
Well, now I don't know what the app is that I used to get them to work, so I can't fix them anymore. So they've gone off, they won't work. I can't reset them because I have no idea what app they had or where they came from.
So true, yeah.
And so you're in that situation now where it's like, well, I'm going to have to rip them off and buy new ones anyway. So I may as well just buy one brand and stick with it.
It's the Toya app. I will tell you that right now.
The Toya app?
Look it up and thank me after. Yeah. That's what all the cheap ones use. Believe me.
Okay.
I know.
Was it Magic Home or something? It was always Magic Home or
Magic Home. Well, it's almost like it's not open source, but a lot of manufacturers take the Toya app and reskin it and use it.
Okay.
Not very accessible at all.
No,
not nice to use, but it's cheap. So,
Shaun loves it. He loves it. Right, let's go to Gregory.
Hey, Stephen and Shaun.
Hey,
how are
Gregory.
you doing today? This is Gregory. I was just listening to another podcast, and they had a guy from InnoSearch, and he was talking about a option they have called co-browse.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. I guess you could call it an AI agent. That's what Shaun has been looking for. I don't know if you guys have used it or heard about it, but the name of it is co-browse. And it actually just works so well as a personal agent. It just tells you everything about a website, how to navigate it. You can even click on elements and start, podcasts that are archived on a website. So, yeah, I think you guys should check it out if you haven't already. Get this guy on and have him talk about it. He's giving out discounts for the service for people's websites. I think you guys should try it out. Maybe AMI should do it. So thanks, guys. Thanks for everything you do. Have a good one.
Thanks, Gregory. Yeah, I haven't really dug into it too much. I know it exists, and I've been hearing a lot about it, and more so recently with all of the InnoSearch news. Have you tried it?
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, it's the AI built into InnoSearch itself. And we talked about AppleVis doing a beta test. They're implementing it on the AppleVis website. So the ability to, search for whatever article you want, basically just ask AI anything and it will just search the website for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the ability to also click on buttons and things like that is something I haven't tried. But obviously, this is very cool, right? And the fact that InnoSearch are making this this technology available to other websites, I do like it.
Yeah, now I'm saying this and I'm just realizing that I think I remember using it once. This is the one. It's just the time that I ended up buying something without even realizing that I'd got. I mean, I wanted to buy the thing, whatever it was I was buying. I wanted to buy it.
It worked well.
It did. So good, in fact, that it just purchased it. And I got an email from, and I think from my bank saying, "Oh, you've just spent this amount at InnoSearch." And I thought, wow, that was incredible. I didn't even hit checkout. So, yeah, it's ahead of itself. But no, it was very interesting. Very, very interesting. I love the way, as I said at the start, I love what InnoSearch are doing. I think they're just doing a great job. And yeah,
we're
really
back to the start again.
Oh, isn't that lovely? We wrapped it up right at the end. How good is that?
I've got to say this as well about Meta, about the AI for the Blind event. Interesting what Be My Eyes are doing as well. They mentioned that they're extending the functionality on the Meta Ray-Bans with the Be My Eyes app. What does that mean? We don't know yet, but I was excited.
Yeah, I was so excited my microphone died. But there we go. That is it from us today. I was shocked into silence. You will not silence me. I'm back tomorrow, as is Shaun. We'll catch you then. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.